You just got a sneak peek to who we're going to see. But first of all, hi, welcome to Sandwich Talk. My name's Carlos. I'm your host. This is my chance to hang out with some friends. Obviously, right now, it's been a strange time in everybody's lives with everybody not being able to hang out with their friends normally. So we started this show at the beginning of quarantine, the first one, to do this. I get to make a sandwich with my friends while still hanging out in the comfort of my own home. It's awesome. We're doing this on the Planet Network. If you're tuned in, you probably know that already. And if you're not tuned in, then you're not even watching this. But today on the show, I've got two good friends of mine. Not one guest, but two guests. Really excited to have them each on. One person I've known separately because we both have been doing very similar things in the same community in terms of food. He's been doing it on an elevated level in a cuisine that's beyond so many people. And the fact that he's done it in the way that you can maintain a high quality of that food on top of also being able to do it in a sustainable way, he's been focused on that. The other person, also his partner, has been doing incredibly unique, beautiful, just nice art, just really good, vibrant, thoughtful art, and been part of the community and been able to bring that community, that art to the community as well. And together they are an awesome team, really cool team. And I'm super, super happy to introduce you to both of them. I'd like to introduce you now to, there we go.
Hey. Hello.
Nick George and Lindsay Farris. Guys, thank you so much for being on the show.
Hey, Carlos. Thanks so much for having us.
I noticed you guys hopped off for a second, so you didn't hear that awesome intro that I had for you guys.
Yeah, we could hear. We're having internet connectivity issues, but it was awesome. Thank you.
I love you guys. I respect the hell out of you guys. Each one of you guys have been able to do something in an elevated way to your own creativity. So, Nick, I commend you so much for doing everything that you do in a sustainable way while also making it very much your own. It's something that you've been doing for a long time and been able to create the concept of a sustainable sushi for the city of Detroit, hopefully much further than that. And you've been able to push that out even so during the pandemic times. And I definitely want to hear more about that. But Lindsay, specifically, your art always just brought like a smile to my face. Every time that I see it, it's floral, it's nice. And even like before I knew you, I would see like the different things that you had done, not knowing who you were. And I'd be like, wow, it's nice. I think the word that I had for it is it's polite.
Thank you.
It's just super like kind and cool and fun, and you can feel like the warmth coming from it too. So great job to you.
Thank you.
How have you guys been? Like I haven't really seen you guys since the pandemic.
We've been well considering. It feels like I haven't left my house in like a year or something at this point. Lindsay's been working from home on a daily basis, and I've been, I don't know, like playing house husband or something, and cooking and cleaning and like I don't know, doing a lot of like staring at the wall, and it's just a weird time, that's for sure. I mean, I spent a lot of the year like gardening. I developed somewhat of like a green thumb this year. It was always kind of a passing hobby, but this year I just had nothing else to do. So I went out and played in the dirt. I called our backyard the sandbox, and I'd be like, all right, Lindsay, I'm going to go outside and play. And I'd come back like 5 hours later, just filthy. But I mean, now that it's cold and raining, I'm back to staring at the wall. So.
And Lindsay, you have a day job as well.
Yeah.
Have you been able to like work in creativity as well throughout that?
Yeah. So I actually like started a new job. My first day was like right after lockdown. The first lockdown started. So that's been a really interesting experience of like where it was like a new field almost, and also a new company. So it was like a lot to like kind of try to navigate completely online.
Especially with everything else in the world that we're all trying to navigate at the same time.
Yeah. But it actually is like a much better job and career path for me, and I actually really enjoy it. So that has been like a huge, I guess, mood stabilizer. like because I have, I have that to like distract me, but it's not something I really dislike. Whereas in the past, my day job has always been kind of more not something I like that much. So that's been really awesome, and I feel really thankful to have that. But yeah, like creatively, like it's really not even a day job. It's like a career, right? So a lot of mental energy goes towards that, and I've really always struggled with like having to be all over the place mentally. And now it's like I literally don't leave my house, so I'm not experiencing this like jerking around, like getting in my car and like commuting or whatever. Totally. So it's been really great. Like I feel like, I mean, I say it's been really great. You understand that not everything has been really great, but like I feel like more free mentally, and that has helped me like stay more connected with like being creative, like on an ongoing basis rather than just sort of like stopping and going. Although there's definitely days where I'm like, I'm not doing anything today.
Yeah, we've all felt that during this entire thing for sure. But I mean, you're probably the first person I've actually heard that says that you have the ability to focus more on your creativity because you have a little bit more of a linear path in front of you.
Yeah.
As opposed to like what we had before, which was like, we all felt like we had to hustle and bounce around constantly.
Yeah.
You, Nick included, like you've been doing the pop-up game, the pop-up scene for about 10 years, maybe more now.
It's a long time.
Yeah, it's been like nearly 10 years. Yeah.
Unreal, man. I'll never forget. I tell this story often, but like the first time that I actually met you, we were at St. Cece's. We were each doing pop-ups at the time. I was doing High Five Taco. John Kung was doing Kung Food. You were doing Dr. Sushi, and then there were a couple other people that unfortunately are no longer around. But it was unique to like meet other people within the scene of pop-up world. I didn't even know that scene was really even like coming up. But I feel like places like St. Cece's were able to put people like you and I up, and then caused for people to want to find out about pop-ups and find out about people. And you turned it into a whole other catering business. You do events. You did to-goes. Tell me about like the evolution of everything and how you got to where you are.
Well, I mean, it started by selling sushi illegally in Lindsay's apartment on Church Street in Corktown. And it was like St. Cece's owners would come in, like Celeste and Jerry and the staff would come and order sushi. I did it every week on Wednesday, and
it was fun.
Yeah, it was great. I mean, it grew too fast to work out of like a 300 square foot kitchen and a residential. I mean, it grew too fast. It got too big for that kitchen space, and I mean, I had never like run a catering business or a restaurant before.
It was an experiment.
It was totally an experiment. But like St. Cece's invited me, like once they found out I joke and say we got evicted, but I mean, I was not allowed to do sushi anymore inside of a house. And it wasn't like a health department thing or anything like that. I mean, it was like, oh yeah, my roommate wants her house back.
Understandable.
Yeah, and so I was like, all right, well, I don't know what to do anymore. I can't serve sushi anymore. And then St. Cece's were like, well, just come do it here. Like I was like, oh wait, you have a kitchen over there, huh? Like maybe I could make sushi there. Anyway, so I did my first pop-up. I didn't really know what a pop-up was, but it went really well. What's crazy is like the first pop-up we did at St. Cece's, we served like 150 people. I have not been able to get more than 50 people out to a pop-up in like 2 years. So I don't know. I was fucking bullshit back then. Like I had no idea what I was doing. And now after like almost a decade of practicing, experimenting and training and building a business out of it, now I'm like, okay, we are ready to put our best foot forward for you. We know what we are doing and we are confident. And it's just like, well, dude, there's fucking 50 other restaurants that just opened last week. So we're going to go check out, the sushi donut spot.
God, you're so right. It's nuts because I remember we had the most business that I probably even have still seen today at St. Cece's. Like I remember just like there was standing room, there were people outside in a line, every single table was packed. We were constantly just changing over, and it was nuts because that place just packed it in.
Yeah.
And you guys had like a every residence like Tuesday type thing, or it was like once a month or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
I remember Celeste actually going too. It's like, you can't do that day. That's a Dr. Sushi day.
Mm-hmm.
You can't change that.
Right. It was crazy. I mean, it was wild because it got to the point where I knew that we were going to do, we were probably going to do like between 120 and 150 covers every time we did our pop-up. And I had a staff 10 deep, and it was like a well-oiled machine. It was working. And then, like St. Cece's closed, and then we were just kind of like, okay, well, where can we go now? And it just hasn't been the same since. Yeah. Just the vibe of that place was so on point. I haven't really come close to, finding anything like it. And at least with the St. Cece's kitchen, I knew what I was getting into. I knew it had enough room to work, and like I could staff 5 people to all work on a line. And, it was pretty clean. It was pretty nice. But I mean, the problem right now is I'm like, not right now. We're talking 2019. It was like, there's like 50 places around town that want to host pop-ups, and you don't know. I mean, it's because like the whole game is all spread out now, and there's 50 venues and 100 pop-ups, and there's still only the same amount of people in the area. So it's like people have a lot more options, which is great, but we have a lot less customers in general. Yeah. I'm not complaining. All this is like great. Competition's great. It inspires us all to be better and come up with new ways of making things sustainable. But yeah, I love reminiscing about the old days. That's for sure. But yeah,
the city in general too.
Yeah. The food landscape too, like restaurant wise, really changed dramatically during that same time period. So you like kind of in some ways like lost that like central like DIY like hub feel of St. Cece's, but then you also suddenly had all these brick and mortars, and that's what was drawing any like new people to town. Mm-hmm. Now I don't know, but
no. And I will say that after St. Cece's, and it's not like I was, you can't, I always told people you can't make a living doing pop-ups, but the pop-up as a tool to promote other facets of your business, like for instance, like your catering wing and your classes and your chips, the pop-up was the most effective, and it still is the most effective marketing tool. And you don't have to, you're usually breaking even at least. And if not, you're having delicious leftovers for a little while, or maybe you can repurpose them into something else.
And the amount of times I've had delicious leftovers.
Right, of course. But the fact is that, like, I don't know, like nowadays, everything's shut down. Of course you're not doing pop-ups, but like the catering industry is gone. And when you have done you've spent the last decade building a business that is very much reliant on packing a lot of people into a small indoor space, we're screwed. We're screwed right now.
Yeah.
It doesn't seem like help's on the way. It's been bleak, but I don't know. Before this, it was like I had a schedule of a pop-up at least once a week, probably 2 catering gigs, and then 1 or 2 prep days throughout the week. So it was a good full-time job, and I loved every minute of it. I mean, none of it felt like I never dreaded a day of work.
No. It was lovely. There was, however, a time where I realized to myself, at least, with the amount of things going on, whether it was the facet of Aunt Neves and Kana and any of the other things, Swerve every Sunday, it became a lot because I realized that everything was growing to the point to where I couldn't necessarily manage it myself. So for me, calming down because of COVID kind of maybe saved me from having a heart attack this year, which is not bad.
I don't see anyone busier than you. I mean, I always joke that like some of these chefs that are working like, like how the industry can lead to a really destructive lifestyle where you're working like 60+ hour weeks and, everything about your lifestyle is unhealthy. You were keeping up like, I don't know if like we're always trying to like if we're always comparing ourselves to people who work like manage kitchens who are busting those 60-hour weeks and they're like somehow like weirdly proud of it. But I was just I'd see what you were doing and it's like, all right, 6 a.m. pop-up at a bike shop followed by like a Kana night at a bar that I don't know, it's you were on it like almost every day of the week. I was just constantly, okay. Yes, we've all slowed down now and we've been forced to, we have to, it's good for us, but I still see you, like busting ass out there.
I mean, I have to, it's like, I have to work twice as hard in the way that I can to get to where I was before. And like, with Aunt Neves, it's gone to just being me 100%. Like this is where my time is devoted. But then on top of that, I've got, what we're trying to do with Kana, and obviously right now that's on hold again. But then on top of that, you've got a bunch of other things solidified, like the Kiesling event that we're doing. So myself and John Jelinek have put together the kitchen program for Kiesling on a consultant basis. And hopefully, once everything kind of turns back, we'll be able to say that we present the food there at all times. Mm-hmm. But I mean, there's just so much you kind of have to do in order to keep yourself moving because for me, if I get bored, then that's a problem because I have anxiety, hardcore. Mm-hmm. And if I'm not doing something, I kind of freak out internally, thinking to myself, what am I doing wrong? I should be doing something. So that's why I always keep myself busy because it's the only way to keep myself sane.
Yeah, I feel that. Oh, yeah.
Welcome to Sandwich Chalk Therapy, everybody. Anyway, going back to to the matter at hand, we talk a lot about the things that we've done here in the past, but one thing that I don't know about you guys at all is your sandwich preferences. What do you guys like for sandwiches?
Well, I love sandwiches in general, like great utilitarian food item, but brings so much pleasure to an eating experience. I happen to eat a cashew butter and jelly sandwich for breakfast every day of my life.
Every single day of her life.
It used to be peanut butter, but I switched like kind of recently because I was bored, I think. But yeah, like if I travel or go somewhere, like I get migraines and I convince myself one of the triggers is like not eating right when I wake up. So I'll bring like sandwich bread and like peanut butter with me, like to make sure.
And it's been this bread for the last, 10 years. It's this bread every time.
It's not good bread. So
that's a honeybee bread too.
What'd you say?
That's a honeybee bread.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, is it?
You can get it at every grocery store. It's like, yeah, it's ubiquitous.
Anyway, so that is like my de facto like favorite sandwich, but I got to think more about the other ones so you can talk about yours.
I mean, I don't. It's interesting. Lindsay and I almost never eat breakfast together because she has a cashew butter and jelly sandwich every single morning.
Does the jelly change?
What'd you say?
Does the jelly change? The jelly flavor?
Yeah.
The jelly changes.
I got I got a jelly advent calendar for December. So I'm about to try a lot of new flavors.
I didn't know that was a thing.
Yeah, I didn't know either. How do you pronounce it?
Bon Maman.
Yeah, like bougie deli brand makes it
Oh my
for
God.
Christmas shit. But
I think they're chocolates.
What?
Aren't they chocolates, or is it really just a new jar?
They're little jars.
It
of
really is a
jelly.
little jar. I guess it's a little jar of jam every single day.
Yeah,
Wow, cool. All right.
Big gift. Whoever gave that to you.
I did.
Oh,
Actually.
right. You know, it's good to give gifts to yourself.
You have to give gifts to yourself. It's very important.
Yeah.
And then Nick, I know we've shared a sandwich before together, or we've
Mm.
had many foods together. That's neither here nor there. But
Right.
together we went to Alcamos Market, and I had a great time there.
Yeah, Alcamos is cool. While it's not like the best, I think it's the best for the money. I mean, I get really weirded out when you can eat a meal for like $5. I don't think that should like be possible anymore. I really worry about what's happening if you can get go out and eat a meal for $5. Something is being exploited like crazy. At any rate, Alcamos has been like a Dearborn staple forever, and I love that. Like the classic Italian sub is like my favorite sandwich of all time. Just really high quality cold cuts, nice mozzarella or provolone. Get some nice like giardiniera or some other like pickles on there, some roasted red pepper, and then like an Italian dressing, like a little arugula. So
Okay.
I'm telling you, the Italian sub is kind of like it's kind of my
Your
gold
favorite.
standard. It's my favorite. I love the Italian sub.
I want one so bad right now.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Why am I not making an Italian sub? What the heck? All right, cool. Well, I think that we should start making a sandwich. I have a few things in mind for my sandwich, but what do you guys think that you're going to do today?
So, I mean, we have we'll make about like 2 or 3 sandwiches a week, usually for lunch. A staple in our fridge is turkey breast. We always have turkey breast. We usually have like some frozen for like lined up in case we can't leave the house for a little while and we need a sandwich. So we have basically like leftovers. So we have like usually like 4 or 5 cheeses in the fridge at all times. We usually have like a lunch meat left over. We usually have some greens, and we usually have some kind of bread. So we're just gonna wing it. We're gonna go in our fridge and we're gonna wing it. But I think it's turkey.
I love that idea. That's so awesome. Okay, so for my sandwich, I thought to myself, I have a shitload of mushrooms.
Okay.
Yum.
Oh yeah.
I'm just gonna do like a mushroom melt.
Ooh.
Yum.
These are just a bunch of good high quality mushrooms from the
Nice.
market. This is I don't know what that is. You got some little boys here.
Oh yeah.
Old standards. You got the hits over here. Pretty
Yeah.
happy.
Yes.
This is great.
Maybe some parsley because I got fresh parsley.
Nice.
Some provolone. The bread that I have today is the bolillo bun,
That's a good bun.
Yeah.
It's really good.
Mexican Town Bakery style.
Yep.
All right, cool. Well, let's get to making a sandwich.
Let's do it. All right, we're gonna flip our screen around so you can see what we're up to.
Awesome. In the meantime, let's hear a message real quick from our friends over at Customer Club. Sandwich Shock is brought to you by Cosmar Club. Inspired by the history and traditions of Italian Amaro, these Bon Appetit magazine highly recommended beverages. I mean, they're recommended by me. I recommend them
They're good.
because I know they're great.
They're tasty.
They're buoyant, they're food friendly, and they highlight the natural vibrancy of farmed ingredients. Also from here in Detroit, Michigan. You can find them all over the country, though, today by checking out their website at cosmarclub.com. And I say this probably every episode now. If you ever suffer from a hangover, boy, oh boy, is Casamara Club good. I think I might have one. Hang on.
They're good.
For being a sponsor, Jason's really slacking on it. All right, so first things first, I got to cut up some butter here. I probably start every sandwich with butter nowadays because.
Yeah. So, okay. So one of my things I've been doing is trying to learn how to make bread during this winter. Like this winter is like I'm going to learn how to make bread.
The way you say it sounds to me like you haven't done a great job.
Hell no. Check this out. Okay, so Max Leonard gave me
the legend
tips, right? Max Leonard makes some of the best bread in town. So they gave me, over at Ochre, they gave me a sourdough starter. And I've been feeding this thing every single day. And like finally it looks like it's like, I mean, it's a total like world you have to go into of like understanding fermentation and like yeast developing and culturing and at any rate, so I tried to make sourdough baguettes today. And it's just like the most pathetic like so I was like, oh, we're gonna make like a French sandwich like on this it's like
yeah.
So pathetic.
You didn't get too much of a fluff or a rise on it. That's fine. It's fine.
But the thing is, like, I proofed it for like a while, and like I waited for it to get nice and big, and I was like, all right, we're going in.
I bet you it still tastes good.
No, it doesn't. I mean, it's hard as a rock.
I don't think we could actually eat it. It's like too hard.
You can probably hear it.
But so like Nick loves like learning via experimenting, and I'm trying to make him understand that a lot of people have already figured out how to do this. So we could just like simply do some research about it.
I do research. It's just I don't know. It's weird. There's always something I'm not doing correctly. Like, for instance, if you're working with a bread that needs to be around like 75 to 80% hydration, if you were to do 80% hydration, that's gonna be difficult. So it's not a beginner bread. It's gonna stick to your fingers and all that. But the other day I went with like, all right, I'll do a 75% hydration. This ball of dough is so hard. It's getting all over my hands. I don't know. I don't know.
You sound to me like you know what you're doing.
I don't know. So we bought a baguette from.
Nonetheless.
So we're gonna pull like all of the potential ingredients out and then go from there.
Yeah, I'm just tossing. So I got all these cut up. I'm just gonna toss it in some butter. A fairly warm boy, and then I don't know, soy sauce maybe.
What's the cheese you're using on that mushroom melt?
I got provolone. I figured provolone's probably going to be the best melty cheese right now.
Nice.
These boys are covered up in that water.
Here he's right there.
Oh.
All right, I'm gonna get my cast iron going so I can do a nice toast on it. All right, so what do you think, Lindsay? Definitely turkey.
Mm-hmm.
We've got some house-made pepper pickles and some giardiniera. I think we can.
Whoa!
Every sandwich I made lately has hot giardiniera on it, and it tends to be such a strong flavor that it kind of dominates the scene. So I think we're gonna forego the giardiniera today and just opt for Lindsay's house-made pickles.
I completely agree with you on the giardiniera, but I do have giardiniera, and you've inspired me to maybe put some on my sandwich.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. We've got some shredded Brussels sprouts and fennel from yesterday.
On my board right here.
I spilled a little. Was that escarole?
This is escarole. Can you eat it raw?
Escarole?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're supposed to cook it.
You're supposed to cook it?
I asked if you're
Oh no, I think it looks like a leafy green. So.
Also some spring mix.
Yeah, let's toss some of that on there. We've got some cucumbers.
Yeah.
Do we want to do that?
No.
No cucumbers.
We definitely need more butter.
What kind of butter is that?
This is so I don't know if at Honeybee you guys have seen, but they have Minerva Dairy. It's like
Oh, yeah.
butter.
That's good.
I go through a lot of butter, so it works. It works for me. Especially because, I mean, like I make a lot of rice at home,
Oh yeah.
and I do like a lot of butter in my rice, which is probably not the real way that you should do it, but whatever.
You can use butter and rice.
We thinking? You want to leave it as like a sub, or do you want to cut it in half and toast both sides? Yeah, I think so.
I love this total co-wrap, guys.
Actually,
Have you guys been able to do? I know during the pandemic you were able to do some of the to-go options for Dr. Sushi. Have you guys been able to pick up anybody else's food to go?
yeah.
Yeah, we've been going for. We've been trying the Ochre Bakery Monday Supper Club, which is nice. Al Shabab. I think Al Shabab is my favorite restaurant in town. Aleppo style Syrian food.
Where is that? I don't think I know about them.
Of course, it's in Dearborn, but it's on Warren, north side of Warren, between Miller and Chase, right across from Cedarland.
Okay, between Miller and shit? No. Wait, right across from Cedarland? So that's between.
Yeah, west of Miller, right?
That would be east of Miller. Or no, west of Miller, east of. Okay, Miller and Chase. Yeah, that's a large expansion. So it's like between Miller and Schaefer, basically.
Yes.
Yeah.
Got it. Okay, cool. Al Shabab. Yeah, I don't know them. I don't eat there.
Dude, it's like the best food you can get. It's so good.
It's really incredible.
What should I order there?
You got to get the cherry kebab for your first time. You got to get the mahamara, which is it's like a Aleppo pepper and walnut paste. It's unreal.
You said cherry kebab?
Cherry kebab. It's lamb kebabs that have this savory cherry sauce. And it's like the first you're kind of like skeptical at first, like it sounds kind of like wackadoodle, but it's just incredible. It comes together so well. Can't recommend it enough. But I mean, everything on that menu is really good. Like the kibbeh belevan is excellent, which is kibbeh, like baked kibbeh in Lebanon.
Oh, kibbeh Lebanese.
Lemon? Oh, it's so good.
Kibbeh Lebanese is one of my favorite things. I grew up eating. It's like, nobody does kibbeh Lebanese. You're telling me they do it fresh?
Yeah.
Damn, I want that.
Oh, the kibbeh na'i, the raw lamb with the wheat. They mix mahamara and the Aleppo pepper into it, so it has like a little bit of sweetness and spicy, and then fresh parsley and cilantro mixed in. It is.
I love that.
Unreal. It's so delicious.
Right now, I'm going to toss in some sake.
There you go.
Into my mushrooms.
I'm just toasting the sides of the baguette right now. The store-bought baguette, of course. I think we're going to do escarole, brie, turkey, a little bit of, how about we make a little like Dijon vinaigrette for this, Brussels sprouts and fennel slaw. Dijon's right there.
How about it, huh? How about
it? We'll do that. It's going to be good.
So, you and I have had conversations about sake before. Specifically, this sake is a little bit more of like a little bit more umami to it, a little bit more mushroomy, wet leavesy kind of textured flavors. You're still going to get a little bit of the melon, but not as much of like the pineapple or citrus that you would get from other sakes. This is definitely a little bit more of the savory side.
I've never seen that brand before. It's really interesting.
It's just another one of the one cups that you can get. I got these through the guys over at Marrow. Specifically, shout out Lisa. Lisa's the homie.
Nice. That's what's up.
For sure.
I usually rock the Johto 1 cup.
Oh, yeah.
Occasionally I'll go with the Kisu Masumune. This stuff's cool because it's made like, or Kiku Masumune. This one right here. This one's cool because it's made the original like style where it's aged in cedar. So I mean, I've just been using this for cooking because this is from March actually.
It's so rare to find those too, still, because I think there's only what is it, 6 sake breweries now still using the giant cedar barrels.
Right. There's not many at all.
Well, there's only one guy making the cedar barrels anymore. Nobody makes them anymore.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Makes
It's really an unfortunate lost art. Like the one guy who still makes them today, he actually teaches a workshop for corporate building, what is it? Community building, or when you want your office to
team building exercises.
Yeah, team building exercises. So he still does them, but he does it mostly as team building exercises.
Interesting.
Kind of sad, dude. Really sad, actually.
Man. Yeah, it's a dying art form, that's for sure.
Well, the sake that you get from it is considerably better than any other sake.
There's that documentary where it just follows a sake factory through the rice harvest in September through the winter, where they make their batches. They're their year's batch of sake. I forget the name of it, but it's phenomenal. So good.
I would love to watch that documentary. If you get a chance to let me know.
Yeah. I'll send you the name of it. It's great.
I just recently organized so there's a lot of behind the scenes that you can't see in the kitchen. But before today or before this week, there was a disaster area below here, and also a disaster area over here and over here. Other than that, it's not as much of a disaster anymore.
All right, so I'm putting our brie on one side. Oh, this is gonna be good.
Mm-hmm.
You're doing brie and what else?
Brie, escarole, turkey breast, and then shaved Brussels sprouts and fennel with the Dijon vinaigrette.
Woohoo!
I think it's gonna be tasty.
I don't think we need the peppers.
No, I don't think so either.
It's gonna be French.
We have some mushrooms. That'd be actually pretty nice on here.
I'm looking through my area here.
Oh, look for the gravy. Sorry. What are you doing for Thanksgiving?
Oh, nobody knows anymore. I think we're just, probably just not going to do anything. Maybe just we're supposed to go and say hello outside to my mom.
Yeah.
And then stop by the other folks' house and say hello outside as well. Each bringing flowers and a bottle of wine and stuff like that. And then just gonna keep it chill at home because we're not really trying to hang out inside with anybody.
Oh, hell no.
It's a strange world.
Yep. We're just doing Thanksgiving, just the two of us.
Oh yeah? Just at home?
Just at home. I'm cooking a goose for the first time.
Oh wow.
It's 13 pounds.
Holy crap.
I mean, I didn't know geese were that big. So we're gonna have plenty of meat. But yeah. Well, it's 13 pounds, but that included the all the entrails, liver, and all the gross stuff inside.
And the bones and such, yeah.
Yeah, and then the legs and the head, gigantic neck. So that's 3 or 4 pounds right there.
Who's eating the head?
I mean, I was maybe gonna make just a stock out of it, but Lindsay's already a little freaked out by the gaminess of the goose.
Head.
I don't like gamey meat.
You don't like what?
I don't like duck or super gamey meat. I don't know if duck counts as gamey.
I don't think duck counts as gamey.
I don't know. I like chicken.
Ooh, those are nice.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. I dig the gamey part. Obviously, you don't want it too gamey. You want it to be done right. Like lamb and goat, I love.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Because there's still a little bit of that gaminess to it, but if done right, it still is delicious.
Lamb is great.
Lamb's the best.
Can't deny it.
We're gonna put a little bit of fig spread on the other side. touch of sweetness should be nice.
All right, here's where my mushrooms kind of ended up right here.
Nice.
Do you ever dry saute mushrooms?
No.
So that's what we do for our furumaki, or like when we do our mushrooms. So we start off with just mushrooms and salt, and we saute them with no oil or no fat whatsoever. And what that does is it just kind of leaches a lot of the water that's inside of them out, and they kind of cook in their own water.
Oh, smart.
It's great because then if you're rolling something, putting your mushrooms in a roll, you don't want you don't want more fat like on your fingers and like inside the roll. It needs to be really nice and lean.
Fair.
So you do the dry saute, put it in whatever. But then with the leftover stuff that's caked onto the saute pan, we'll deglaze with sake. And then we'll add that to whatever we're working with. And it's just this super rich, incredible stuff that makes anything really.
Well, you're in luck because I've got a whole other bag of mushrooms that I can do that with later.
Oh, yeah. All right, we got our brie, we got our turkey, we've got our Brussels sprouts and fennel slaw with the Dijon. And we're gonna put that on there.
Okay. Mushrooms turned out good.
Nice.
I'm gonna put it back in this pan.
Got our slaw on there, nice and messy.
Give this guy a quick rinse.
We'll do our escarole.
And then,
What is escarole? This just looks like green leaf lettuce.
It does look like it, but it's not.
All right, anything else? This looks pretty good.
yeah, you guys are just making a giant ass awesome sandwich over there. I'm not even close to being done.
So one of my favorite things to do is spend a lot of time making a sandwich. Like I'll there'll be once a month or something. I'll spend about half an hour to 45 minutes making a sandwich. And, I'll really take my time with it and I'll perfect every little thing. All the cuts will be really nice. Mm-hmm. And it'll be like 12 to 15 layers.
Yeah.
Usually, and I'm always going like Italian style on that. I'll tell you this.
I haven't done one.
There's this video I watched on YouTube. It's like this. It's one of those like experiential fly on the wall style like travel video accounts or whatever.
Oh yeah.
Like Aiden Films or something. This guy, it's just, you don't even know who's behind the camera, but you find yourself on the street in Napoli, I think, or Sicily, somewhere in Italy, and it's like the shot of this guy, and he's running like a sandwich shop on the street in like an Italian city, right? And all you can just hear like people like idling about, chatting, blah blah blah, and someone orders a sandwich, and then this guy just zooms in on the entire process of making a sandwich. And this is like a street food vendor, so you'd be like thinking like a street food vendor would be used to making things like bam, bam, bam. We got to get this out. This guy spent like 12 minutes making one sandwich and this guy videotaped the whole thing, and it's so cool. Like he just keeps piling on like this and that, and he's I want a little bit of this. He'll zest a lemon on there, a little bit of squeeze, and then he'll grate a ton of Parmesan, and then here comes a layer of cold cuts, and then he'll make a salad for 5 minutes. Best part, halfway through making the sandwich, he just leaves it on his cutting board, and he grabs a gigantic block of cheese, and he cuts it up and pours like fresh herbs and olive oil and salt on it, and walks around to everyone that's watching him make a sandwich, and he offers samples of this cheese to everyone.
Stop it!
It's like in the middle of making a customer's sandwich, and this guy's like, "Try the cheese, go ahead. I want you to have it," and everyone's just loving it, and it's just like that's like my perfect street vendor right there. That's like yeah. I mean, like if you want to, I don't know. People need to slow down, and that's like the best video for like reminding yourself that you need to do that. This guy looks like he's a pretty happy street vendor. Looks like he's doing all right. He's got like a ballin' ass watch on too. I mean, you know, but yeah, that's like one of my that video is one of my biggest inspirations actually. And every time I'm making one of those like big old Italian sandwiches, that's all I can think about is this guy just like having the time of his life making one customer sandwich for 15 minutes.
It kind of reminds me a little bit about like Ernie's Market over in Oak Park.
Oh yeah,
the amount of attention that he gives to each customer.
Yeah.
I love that, and that's kind of like you said, it inspires you. What inspires me is the fact that you can have an outpour of customer service like that, like so much love, care, and affection to one person, because they're there for you. Mm-hmm. At the end of the day, they're there for your food and they're there for the bites and the enjoyment. But really, truly, something like this guy or like Ernie, people are there because they're there for the person, they're there for the show, they're there because the overall experience. Mm-hmm.
Man, Ernie's, I miss that place. Haven't been to Ernie's in, I mean, not since like high school. It's been like 15 years. But I remember, I can like hear the cadence in his voice as he walked.
Hey, baby, how you doing, baby? All right.
Who loves you, baby?
Who loves you, baby?
You're looking at the menu and he's just like, you want 2 meats? That's $2. 3 meats? $3. 4? That's $4.
They went up in price though. I think his daughter runs it now.
I mean, as they should. I mean,
yeah, exactly. I mean,
like
you can get a monster ass sandwich for $5.
If you can eat for $5 if you can go out and eat for $5, something's wrong.
I mean, it's not like his meats weren't like they weren't like the best quality, right? It wasn't like you were getting high quality deli meats. You were just getting like the old industry standard of deli meats.
Right.
But it was still great because of the experience, the spices that he added to his sandwich as well. Just overall, like you're eating Ernie's sandwich, dude. It's lovely.
Yeah.
All right, so in here I did a little bit of parsley. I've got the sauteed mushrooms that I did with some sauté, some soy sauce, provolone cheese. I'm going to squeeze a little bit of lemon on here too.
Mm-hmm. Cut that fat.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
And then there is sandwich numero uno. I'm making another sidecar over here because I know I'm going to be hungry later.
Damn, I'm jealous of your sandwich now. That's fantastic.
You guys have a sandwich done as well.
Yep, we've got our what is it?
Oh my god!
Sandwich, the slaw we made with the Dijon vinaigrette. We've got brie, turkey breast, and a touch of fig spread atop that escarole right there. So nice, like Parisian cafe style sandwich.
Love it. All right, cool. Let's do a quick timeout because it's time for the Aunt Nee snack break. You ready for this? Boom, Aunt Nee snack break. Every single episode before we eat our sandwiches, we take a quick break just to celebrate Aunt Nee's. Why? Because it's my company and it's my podcast and I can do whatever I want. No, in all honesty, Aunt Nee's, I'm very proud of my brand. I'm very proud of the things that we've been able to accomplish over the years as well. This year has been tough for all of us business owners. You guys understand that. I definitely understand that as well. One thing that's been the saving grace to my company and Aunt Nee's in general has been the outpouring of love and support of my friends, of the community, and the way that everybody supported in purchasing our product. So thank you all so much. It's a rough time for everybody, but I'm happy to say Aunt Nee's is still around. So real quick, if you've never had an Aunt Nee's tortilla chip, it is literally, I'm not saying this because this is my company. It's literally the best tortilla chip.
It's the best chip in town. There's no contest. What's that?
I wish we had a bag right now.
Yeah, I do too. Damn.
I owe you guys.
There you are.
Oh, holy shit.
Okay.
That's okay. I break the second bun. Whatever.
Uh-oh.
They're both for me.
What are you gonna do?
What are you gonna do?
What are you gonna do?
Let's try this. A little bit of your mushroom schmutz.
Mm-mm. Mm-mm.
I'm gonna do that lemon again. Oh yeah.
As well.
All right. So if you guys want to give me a layer by layer, play by play of what you guys did, and then dive in and just let me know what's up.
All right, so baguette sliced in half, layer by layer. Bottom, we toasted both sides in butter. We've got brie, then turkey breast, fennel, Brussels sprouts, Dijon vinaigrette, escarole, and touch of fig spread.
I didn't know about the fig spread. Where was I for that?
I mean, something on there. Touch of sweetness can't hurt.
Fig spread with brie is just a great
It's true.
combo.
Love it. All right, take a bite. Let me know what you guys think.
It's like really big.
Dang, that's huge. I love just the leaves pouring out of the side.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
Then you got a little salad to work with too.
How is it, guys? What are you feeling first?
I gotta get more stuff into my bite to really know.
Never made this sandwich ever. I mean, it's good. No, there's nothing wrong with this sandwich. I'll tell you that. I think it could use a little bit more of an acidic kick to it. But oh yeah, we got a little lemon right here.
Boom.
There's lemon in the vinaigrette.
Mm-hmm.
Always essential to have an acid.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this is good.
Great.
Mhm.
Sick. All right, so let's talk about this weird mushroom melt that I did. It's on a bolillo bun with some sauteed mushrooms that I did with soy sauce, butter, and also some sake, and then just let that come to all the fluid we're going, all the liquids. Then I put in some parsley there at the end, tossed it in, put that into the bun. The bun I then did with provolone, melted that up, squeeze a lemon right at the end. Let's try this out.
Sounds terrible.
Wow. It's turned out way better than I thought it was going to be.
Mushrooms are so good.
This is really good. Wow, I'm happy.
The bolio is like a master choice right there.
Yeah,
One of my favorite breads, for sure.
Yeah.
really good.
Oh,
I know, like, in the past when we've done, like, banh mi sandwiches, I always just opt for the bolio from Honeybee.
Oh, yeah. I did the ceviche shrimp roll.
Oh, yeah.
And I did that with all bolillos instead of like a different kind of roll. And, dude, wonderful. Soaking in butter, too. Loved it.
I just got into, like, the thick of this where I got a good bite with a good amount of that fig and brie in there. Really nice.
When you guys eat things, are you like, do you just eat it to the end, or are you guys like a save the best bite for the last kind of person?
I saved best bite for last.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Me too. And everything that I do, like this little finger right here, this is all bread.
Yeah.
I'll eat that first before I get back to the right.
Sometimes I'll even like take a half bite here and a half bite on the other side, so it's more balanced.
That's strategic and stuff.
Totally.
You know what's cool is like bad sandwiches, not like truly bad sandwiches, but like a bodega like egg sandwich or something. Like those are just as amazing as like a really good sandwich.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Like gas station ham and cheese or something. There's a time and a place for that sandwich.
Absolutely, there is.
I'm into it.
Any bodega in New York,
Mm-hmm.
you walk in there and you get like a breakfast sandwich or like a chopped cheese.
Yeah.
One of the greatest sandwiches of your life.
So good.
You paid $4.87. The guy yelled at you because you told him pickles.
Yep.
You didn't have the pickles that you wanted, so you're like, "Oh, it's okay." And he goes, "Well, make up your mind." And you're like, "Sorry."
Yeah.
So you walk away with an experience, a cheap sandwich, and then diarrhea.
Yeah. Although that like classic like bacon, egg, and cheese on like a Kaiser roll or whatever on a roll like that you get at like every corner.
Mhm.
Oh yeah.
That's a good sandwich.
Wait, I'm remembering now my favorite sandwich in town that I never eat. What's
Well-
that place? Is it El Catracho?
Mm-hmm.
They have something called I may be pronouncing it incorrectly, like a boleda.
Where at?
It's called El Catracho.
It's like Antahilo El Catracho.
Yeah.
It's at on the south side of Verner, just west of Clark. It's in a strip mall. There's like a Little Caesars there. It used to be a place, a potato restaurant called Spudheads. You know, it's like across from like Mutiny Bar.
Yeah. I remember Spud.
Yeah,
So
this place is called like El Catracho, and it's really, really good. You have to check it out if you've never been. But what's in the boleta again?
It's like this puffy, like it's not a tortilla, but it's thicker. It almost, I don't know what it is actually called, but it kind of reminds me of like naan or something. And then it has like refried beans, I think sour cream, and like egg and cheese. And it's really fucking good.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, can I swear on this podcast?
So, yeah. It's really good. They also have like a really fantastic guisado over there.
Okay, you just turned me on to it, dude. I have no idea.
Yeah, that place is awesome.
It's a great sandwich. I guess it would be a sandwich.
Yeah, I think so. It's been open like 3 or 4 years. It's a good spot.
Nice. Any other favorite sandwiches in the city?
The Rocco.
We like Rocco's.
Rocco's is great. I feel like that's like 90% of the city love Rocco's.
Mm-hmm.
My favorite sandwich of all time is the Goodwill sandwich. So very sad.
Yeah, the Goodwill's
about
pocket
that
sandwich was
still.
twice a week for us.
But
We mentioned Goodwill's. I don't know if you guys saw the episode that I did with Kaylin Waterman. Talked all about the sharing table and stuff like that. But we talked about Goodwill's for like a good 5 minutes in there. And I don't know if the people behind Goodwill's are even listening or watching anymore. But if you are, I will help you do a pop-up, do some kind of event. Nick, I'm sure you're in too, dude.
I mean, I've heard that they're doing they're doing food stuff.
Are they really?
I don't know. I don't know where. I don't know what it is. I haven't like dug into it and researched it. But I mean, I could be just spreading a rumor right now. I have no clue. I mean, I heard through a grapevine that is not like reliable that they're doing something.
Because if they're doing pita pockets and soup somewhere, I need to go.
Man, I miss it.
Yeah, that was top notch.
You talk about under $5, dude. That place is economically friendly.
Mm-hmm.
So good.
God, I miss it.
I love the Alchemo sandwiches. What else we go for? I like the Reuben at high grade.
Mm-hmm.
Totally.
That's a good one.
Man, they're going to be closing the doors, right?
No, what?
Yeah. Stuart he's looking for a buyer right now because he needs out.
Damn.
He's been working really hard, tirelessly. He's rough, man. I sat down with him for an episode of Detroit Digest, and he basically just like broke it to me. He's like, dude, I'm done. Like, basically, I just need somebody to buy this from me so I can just be done and walk away. He doesn't want to just walk away from it and close its doors, but he personally, physically cannot do it anymore.
Man. He'll cash out nicely, though.
I hope so.
Yeah.
But then you sell that place to anybody else, and you have to hope, okay, great. Are they going to do it as well as he has?
Right.
Mm-hmm.
It's very rare that you see a business transition to another person, another proprietor, and have it all stay the same.
Yeah.
I went to Scotty Simpson's Fish and Chips over on 5 now. Not sure if you guys have been there.
Yeah, that's great.
Amazing place. Scotty Simpson was the original owner for like the first 10 years, maybe 15, 20 years, whatever it was. He then sold it to another one of the people there who had it up until like 2011, I think it was. But then one of the people that's been working there since the 1950s and had been a manager there and worked there ever since, he purchased it from the previous owner and has kept it completely the same ever since.
Wow.
And that is something that I'd love to see for some place like High Grade, because then you're keeping your prices consistent, obviously going a little bit higher as prices need to go, but they're still not astronomical. The quality of the food is the same. The flavors are the same. The vibe is the same. You walk into that place and it's unchanged since the 1950s. And that's one thing that I want to see continue to be the same for High Grade.
Yeah.
But one of my friends told me, he's like, why don't you buy it to me? Dude, I wish I could buy it, but I honestly don't have the time nor the mental capacity to do that right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Unless, hey, Nick, you want to go in on a shop with me?
You're pretty lovely.
We'll see.
Right?
We shall see.
Anything can happen at this point.
Yeah.
Like, who knows? Daytime lunch is just nothing but the old school menu. Nighttime, sushi, late night food. Boom, 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 boom.
Wow, classic. Another sandwich that really needs to be mentioned is the turkey burger at Turkey Grill.
Yeah!
It's like, it's the best. I mean, it's the best turkey burger I've ever had.
I agree.
I've been thinking about it for like a long time. I can't believe I haven't got one since pandemic happened.
Completely agree. I think that whole place does outstanding work.
Yeah.
The turkey burger is so juicy. It's filling. It's delicious. There's different flavors that interact that are way more than just a turkey flavor that you would initially expect. They do so much good work to turkey there. They've got the turkey tails, something that I had never had before, and eating their turkey tail brought me to a whole nother understanding of what turkey can be.
Turkey master over there.
I've never had it.
Awesome place. Very, very happy with them.
Yeah.
I always have loved the stupid sandwich at the Bronx.
Yeah.
I like that one.
Love that sandwich. A stupid sandwich at the Bronx. The veggie burger is the best veggie burger that we find in the city. And in my opinion, they have the best cheeseburger in the city. That's what
they have a great cheeseburger.
It goes number one for me. Number two would be for me.
What was the second one?
Nemo's.
Yeah.
I honestly think Nemo's has the second best burger in the city. And then if you're looking at outside of the city of Detroit, Miller's Bar in Dearborn, hands down.
That's my favorite. Yeah, it's just perfect.
It's
so good. Like last time I was there, I went with some friends and we get our burgers and they're like, "Wait, you don't like have like plates or anything?" We're like, "What do you think this is?" No, you get like a sheet of paper and that's what your burger comes on.
Yep.
Just I love that's like one of my favorite burgers of all time.
You go with a rookie and you feel like, God, why are you such an idiot? Like, because they don't know. A rookie will walk in there and they'll be like, "Where's the menu?" Number one, you don't get a menu.
No.
They'll order the burger and they'll be like, "Oh, well, I just want lettuce, tomato." No, you don't. There's no such thing as lettuce here.
Right.
Did you want onion? Yeah, I'd love onion. Do you have it? No, you can either have the onion or you don't have the onion.
Right, exactly.
A giant piece of raw onion on a piece of parchment paper. You want pickles? Cool. The pickles are in the middle of the table. Go ahead. Go nuts.
Man.
Mustard, that's it.
Are they doing like carry out right now?
They're doing carry out. Also, they're open. Well, they were open on the inside up until the second quarantine.
Yeah.
So I haven't been since the pandemic, and from what I understand, you can't have like as many pickles because you don't have the giant fat at your table anymore.
Right.
Like a parchment paper full of like a baggie, like a Ziploc baggie full of pickles.
Okay.
That's cool.
Man, that's
cool.
Burger. Another kind of unsung hero sandwich is I'm a big fan of that lentil burger at Cass Cafe. Have you had that before?
Oh,
It's good. It's really good. You don't feel like heavy after. It packs like a serious like savory flavor, and it's substantial but like light at the same time. It's like the way they do lentils over there are really good. Like a lot of like cumin and curry flavors in there, and so in like a way that really works.
I actually haven't had Cask Cafe probably maybe 7 years.
Yeah.
Same. It's been a really long time.
It's been a long time. I mean, since, we all used to hang out in Midtown all the time.
Yeah, right.
Interesting, like going back into like the way that Detroit used to be and like looking at that, and like we all used to hang out in that area doing certain things, going to the same ponds. And like there were really only like 5 different options of what are we doing for dinner tonight. It was like Budgies was new, like go down to Grand Trunk, which had like the best beer selection at the time, like 8 years ago. 10 years ago.
Yeah. I used to get the Reuben a lot.
Yeah.
Yup. And then like a handful of other places. It was so rare. And now, like you were saying, the landscape of Detroit's food ecosystem is massive.
It's all over the place. All over the place. Man, yeah. It's a good thing I'm full of a sandwich right now. Otherwise I'd be crying
Losing
at this point.
Totally. But you're on this show, we eat when we're hungry. So
Yeah, right. It helps. It definitely helps.
next.
Well, what else have we been? What other sandwiches have been on point? Think of any like pop-ups that had great sandwiches.
You heard that Kana chicken sandwich?
I remember the butter chicken, but I think I got it with rice when we did the pop-up fest. That was the last time
Because we're probably out.
maybe, yeah.
We're actually, so we've been talking with, we did our last pop-up at Batch right before the closure of everything.
Mhm.
Miriam and I had talked to Steven about possibly doing a little bit of like a residency at Batch. Looking to see how that's kind of look like. All like to go or eating outside, of course. But it worked out so well for us. We had a great time, all parties included, and we brought back the butter chicken sandwich. So next time that we're doing that, please, guys, come on over. Sandwiches are on me for you guys.
Kelly, thank you.
For sure.
Yeah.
That sounds so good.
Astro breakfast sandwich.
Ooh, wow. Low key, hardcore, one of the best sandwiches in the
It's a
city.
good one.
Yeah.
Really good.
Yeah.
So simple.
Man, I haven't had that one in a while.
So good.
That one's an excellent.
You
Well,
ever-
let me ask you guys. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, forget about it.
No. If it's related, it's got to be talked about.
Well, I was just gonna say the Astro, when they first opened, had that ham and cheese croissant sandwich. I don't know if you ever had that, but I'm not like a ham or croissant person, but that sandwich was fucked up. It was really good. I probably wouldn't eat it now because I would like have to take a 3-hour nap afterwards. But it was great at the time. Anyway, they got good sandwiches.
Yeah. Astro really put together a good menu over there, and I think who was working there? It was Lindsay and Jesse, right? They put together the menu there.
Got me. I don't know.
John Jesse.
Probably. Yeah. Jess probably did a good amount of that. I don't know who else was involved with that.
I don't know. Anyway, that's another one of the unsung heroes of the city of Detroit is that man's food.
Oh yeah.
Everything that Jesse and Lindsay have ever put together in the city, I've always been a fan of. They were there to help out with like the initial states of Takoi or anybody else who was coming up at the time. Just working on fun stuff, and I think they've done a great job too.
Nice.
But I wanted to ask you guys. So right now, obviously, we're in lockdown. But are there things going on that you guys want to talk about? Things kind of coming up, maybe like what the next goals are for each one of you guys as Dr. Sushi and as Lindsay with all of your artwork and everything coming up.
Go for it.
I don't know. My goal is always just to like keep making art, and I kind of like, I don't know. I don't necessarily like seek out projects or opportunities. It's kind of just like I let it flow how it happens naturally, but I'm always like looking forward to the next thing, whatever it is. So I guess I don't have any plans except I know that I will continue making art. Hopefully someday in a public setting of some sort.
Totally. Same. anything public would be funny.
Yeah.
I'm probably making. I'm working on a Christmas rap album, kind of like old school, like gangster rap style, just about like the holidays.
What?
I'm just fucking with you. I'm just. Let's see. I'm doing a bento box pop up at Frame in a couple weeks.
Yeah, I got the email about that.
Yeah, so I'm doing like classic bento. I don't want to take it like do anything like extravagant or wild, but just classic what we do best. Good shirashi. I think like a Japanese style potato salad and some pickles I've been working on. So just simple. I mean, it's interesting because people haven't had my food like since March, and so I feel like just why do anything different? Just go back to what was working and what was good before then. I mean, you can't like. I mean, it's good. I make the rice the same way every time. The fish doesn't like change. It's I'm still using sustainable seafoods.
Real quick, so a lot of people at home don't understand what sustainable seafood is. Do you mind giving us a quick info on that?
Yeah.
You can't do it quick.
Sustainable seafood is eating, consuming, using, making seafood. We're only going to use seafood that's being harvested in a way that doesn't fuck up everything going forward. So like, we're not using bluefin tuna because stocks are down 97% and every sushi bar in town still serves it, which is how you got into that situation in the first place. We're not using farmed salmon, especially like Atlantic, like mass-produced pen farms where they're reliant, because they pack them all so close together, they're relying on things like antibiotics and growth hormones to make sure that they produce a viable product. So we only use wild Alaskan salmon because that's a really well-protected source of fantastic salmon, and it should be celebrated.
Yeah.
I'm probably paying $2 more per pound for it, but I mean, I don't know. It's hard to talk about a lot of this stuff without becoming either depressed or infuriated, because it's wild to me still that Dr. Sushi is the only sustainable sushi business in the Midwest at this point. I think the one in Chicago closed. And maybe it's like, there's probably more. I don't know. What am I talking about? But I don't know. Every sushi bar in town is a cookie cutter of itself. They all buy their fish from the same place. And the place where that distributor gets their fish from is drawing from an unsustainable source. And so you have one distribution company supplying 95% of sushi bars in the Western Hemisphere. Outside of Japan. And what that leads to is a feedback loop of sushi chefs the sushi chefs are thinking, I can't venture out because my customers won't buy these other fish. And customers now are saying, oh, well, like, I know what sushi is. Every sushi bar has the toro and the otoro and the salmon avocado and blah, blah, blah. So it's like sushi chefs are saying, I can't make money unless I serve this style of food or these fishes. And then you have consumers who are never going to try those fish because no one's going to serve it to them in a context like sushi, right? It drives me crazy when people are like, I don't like sushi, man. Like, it's kind of gross. Like, everything's deep fried and has mayo on it. It's like, if I just go to like a bar and get French fries or something. It's like, that's not sushi, but so many people think it is. And like, even like,
why?
Like the addition of like avocado is like a very Western thing, but it's imitation crab, cucumber, and avocado and mayonnaise has become like the most like recognizable sushi roll in the United States.
What is that? The Las Vegas roll?
Right, like the Dynamite, the King Kong, the Godzilla roll. I mean, you name it. I mean, I can't tell you how many events I've done where people are like, "Oh, by the way, can you like make some Las Vegas rolls for us?" And I'm like, I get so many customers ask for stuff like that, and I have to just like bite my lip all the time.
Well, yeah, it's like it's like a DJ that's at a show performing music that they're either proud of or they've created themselves, and then somebody coming up to them and being like, "Hey, can you play the Cupid Shuffle? Me and my friends really like it."
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. With any like venture, art, music, whatever, like it's up to the artist or whomever to like push the envelope, but that's always in conflict with, I guess, making money, right? Because it takes time to educate people and sway them a different direction. And so if you don't have time to wait for that, it can be really difficult. And that's how we got like, these stagnant situations.
Well, I commend you 100% for always being able to push that message. That's one thing that we've done, we've continued to do, and you're still doing with every single step of your way. You push the message of sustainability in terms of what you do and how you do it. You've been fair to everybody that you've worked with as well, and I commend you for that.
Yeah, that's also probably the reason why I don't have a sushi bar, because I pay everyone well enough so that I can't profit. I don't know. Like I can go on about sustainability for a long time, and I'm always happy to educate people on stuff like this. But it's like it's not even David and Goliath. It's like, how are you going to change the habits of like okay. Fish is seafood is the only wild food source that we have commodified to the point where we're at today, right? Like, what other foods can you think of that are being drawn from wild sources? There's pretty much nothing. Everything is farmed or like cultivated in that sense. But we approach seafood with the same reckless abandon that we do industrialized agriculture. And so now you have an entire aquatic ecosystem that, because of consumer demands, has been completely kicked out of whack. When you take like a piece of the food chain out because everyone wants this tuna, right? Everyone wants bluefin tuna. When you take that out, the whole ecosystem goes out of whack. And I mean, you can find instances like this of like, oh, you favored the growth of lobsters in this area for so long that sea urchins are now exploding, and now we have to find a buyer for that, and then it goes on, and that's when you get things like zebra mussels and invasive species populating like the Great Lakes, like Asian carp. It's all out of balance, and there's nothing being done to stop it. So I keep coming back to this thing where it's like, I'm running a sustainable sushi business, right? But I just don't think it's not responsible to not it's completely irresponsible to keep run a sushi business out of ignorance of where your product comes from. And I hate to just be like, oh, you need to do this differently, when it's like, but I've known this for 20 years and I but my customers like it, and fuck you for telling me what to do, It's like, okay, well, if I wanted to kill a person in the street, someone's going to tell me I can't do that. And I don't get to tell them, fuck you, I'm going to do what I want and be celebrated for it. But we're kind of running into, it's not exactly the same thing, but I'm kind of seeing it like that. It's like, you need to be more responsible. We all need to be more responsible. We have piss poor leadership in this country that has persisted for many, many years. It's not even a new thing.
On all levels across the board, unfortunately, you're very right. And that's one thing that you're seeing a lot this year is everybody's kind of waking up to the injustices that there are across the board and everything that we have, whether it's with the Black Lives Matter movement or injustices across the prison system or everything else that's been hitting everybody as hard. One thing that you're doing as well is you're harping across the food industry and showing why and how and what's better and the abilities that you have as an independent business to do better, encouraging other people to do the same. And I think that that's one thing, and this is a message that you'll see consistent across this video cast specifically, is this community, Detroit itself, is a strong community. And one thing that we all encourage each other for and work with each other for is to build each other up and make sure that we can together go against the injustices that we see in the world. It starts with us here, and it's been duplicated across several communities across the United States, across the rest of the world. A lot of people like us, the little guys, are all working to build each other up and make sure that we know what the information is and how to come across in the better way that we all see that the world can move forward with. And because of that, I'm very happy that I'm friends with both of you. Both of you have done a great job in terms of the communication towards the community in the matters of what you do. So Nick, thank you very much for everything that you've done with Sushi, with food in the community and pushing the message. Lindsay, always a pleasure to see you being a part of the community, working with the different artists here in the community as well. And then just like I said, your work to me is just delightful. It's pleasant. So if I could ask you guys, what are some ways that we can communicate with you, find you guys online? What if people want to find you guys, how do they do that?
Instagram primarily. I'm Lindsay Farris on Instagram. There's like an underscore in between my name.
LINDSAY or FARRIS.
Yeah, thank you.
And Nick?
It's DR Sushi Detroit across all social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and Gmail. Always welcome to reach out to me, even if you just want to figure out what your sustainable sushi options would be if you're going to Noble Fish or something. And I also want to put this out there that if any food service employees or businesses, chefs, would like free consulting on sustainability in their menus, I do that for free. I mean, maybe not for free when I'm, doing it for a lot of other people, but right now, like, I am more than happy to look at your menu and figure out how I can make it much more sustainable, and maybe even help you save some money. So I'm putting that out there, free sustainability consultations for anyone interested.
Huge. Please take advantage of that. If you have a business at home, if you have any kind of food business, talk to Nick. He knows what he's talking about. You've been doing this for a long time. So guys, thank you so much for both being part of the show. I love you both individually and together. You guys have been together for a long time. And I didn't know that up until, a couple years ago.
11 years.
Holy shit.
We were supposed to get married in October. That's being postponed. For some reason. I have no idea.
Yeah, it's not like anything's really going on.
Yeah.
Thank you guys so much for being a part of the show. I want to make sure that we thank the Planet Ant Network for putting us on. Make sure that you check out other Planet Ant videocasts and podcasts as well. Everything is available by just typing in your search Planet Ant. You can check out the YouTube, check out the podcast, anything that you've got going on that you have interest in. I'm sure Planet Ant has room for it. On top of that, if you have a podcast or videocast in mind, communicate with Planet Ant too, because they're here for you. They want to build something as well. We're here to build it together as a community, as a larger community, then spill out to everybody else. Aside from that, I definitely want to make sure that I thank for the ad read music and the intro music. Those are both by a guy named Kevin MacLeod. So thank you, Kevin, for giving me free music. I also want to thank.
That's you?
Yeah, so it's my neighbor just pounding something. Who knows? I live in one of those shitty Detroit apartments for a long time. It is what it is. I hear babies crying. I hear pounding. I can hear arguing.
Yeah.
It is. Also want to make sure that I thank Danny Veer. I want to thank Mike McGettigan for putting us on. I want to thank Parker Hammond. I want to thank Mustard Valet Michael Zuber. I want to thank my mailman, Carl Malone, as always, my chief, Miles O'Brien. But bigger and most important of anything is I want to thank every single one of you for joining us. If this is your first time joining us, check us out next week, every Wednesday. For other things that I do too, Detroit Digest, new videos coming out every other week. We've got things going on with RSVP Detroit as well. If you haven't checked out the Midnight Temple video, that's very interesting. And aside from that, you can find me on Instagram at Carlos_Parisi. And if this isn't your first time checking us out, thank you so much for tuning in every week. I'm here every single Wednesday, 6 o'clock. Check us out. Love you all. Guys, thank you so much for being a part of the show. I'll talk to you,
Carlos. Thank you.
Thank you, guys. For everybody at home, I hope you guys got hungry and happy sandwich.